one who couldn't resist a little mischief? Yeah, that guy. He's back. Viagra. Not all medications are for everyone. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
My first commercial job was for Citibank Visa. And, well, obviously this was before you were born. And it was a big campaign at the time that eventually Saturday Night Live went on to spoof. So we knew it was a successful campaign because they were spoofing it. But yeah, and I remember I was scared to death. I had 3 lines which were, when he called the 800 number, he was upset. He needed a new Citibank Visa before he left. And it was a guy who, he was going to Europe and he lost his card and he called the 800 number, and then that's when I said my lines, and then it was him again. But it was all just talking heads in a black environment, so it was easy. But I remember sitting there during that job and hearing that I mean scared to death, and I heard the director saying, "Yeah, that's all we're going to get from her. That's all we're." And I thought, "Oh my God, what was there more I was supposed to do? Oh my God, oh my God!" And what I came to realize was, you know, you can play around with it a little. If it's too big, they'll bring you back, but they'll give you direction, but it's up to you to sort of play a little. And I forgot to play. I was so scared. I started working right away, so I had this weird disillusion that, oh, apparently I was the one you were waiting for, you know, and I thought it was like that for everybody. And I have been very, very, very lucky, you know, 10 or 15 years into it, where I realized, oh, you mean everyone just doesn't work? I mean, because there was a core group of people, and I'm sure it's the same for your dad, you know, you see the same people over and over again, especially 20 years ago and 15 years ago. There was a lot of work, and there weren't quite as many people as there are now, it seems, who want to do it, and you didn't have all the celebrities taking work away from you, and there wasn't as much non-union work. I mean, the landscape's really changed a lot. I think the general public has been sold this bill of goods that if you get into commercials, you can make a lot of money. And you can, and you could. You can't really now, because it's, you know, back when you could make a lot of money, back when I knew VO guys in particular who had, you know, bought an apartment in New York and bought a house in Montauk and you know, they bought planes, they were fabulous. I mean, I know people who made that kind of money. They're 20 years older than me. And now it's internet and phones and God knows what other revenue streams. So the general public thinks there's that, and because they think everyone can get rich really quick, that anyone can do it, because a commercial seems easier. You know, you can act in maybe a 30-second increment as opposed to a 30-minute kind of thing. But you still have to be able to tell a story in 30 minutes and 30 seconds, and you still have to be able to tell a story in 30 seconds. You still have to be able to bring some things to the table, so while it's not brain surgery, there's a certain technique involved in it. And if you don't know the technique or you don't have a technique, then you can't really do it. I think now you really have to be jack of all trades. You have to, you know, you have to start thinking about writing your own content, producing your own content, directing it, starring it, putting it together. I mean, you have to really think in that broader term, because it's a whole different landscape now. It's a whole different world now.